Yo, what up? It's Rainbow Chew. I recently asked on my Instagram what your unpopular Pokemon opinions were. So now I'm gonna give you my opinion on your opinion. So let's get started, because long intros are for garbage people. First one, I hate the hype of vintage cards. Modern over vintage all day. I agree with this hardcore. Obviously, I understand the appeal of vintage because they're iconic and they're nostalgic and they started the whole thing. I would never want to open up a pack like vintage with that lack of variety ever again. I don't have to mention every single new thing that we've added, like full art trainers. They took something that was like the most boring part of packs, the trainers, and made them into like some of the most exciting, best looking cards, and rainbow rares, amazing rares. Every single set, I feel like they're just topping the art and making it better and better every set. So if you're gonna look at like any alternative art from a modern set and then tell me that you want to go back to jungle, like, okay. To make the non-holo rare the same exact card as the holo rare, so it's like, oh, you wanted holo Wigglytuff? Here's worse Wigglytuff, where they just literally took the holo and like slapped it on a dirty copy machine. At least now the non-holo rare is like a totally different card art, totally different Pokemon, where it's still fun to get a rare that's non-holo because it's a different card. Like, there's good artwork, obviously. Like, Shining Gyarados is one of my favorite arts of all time, but it ain't no full art, you know, it's mostly text. It's not the same. Modern is better, you're right. Professional at my paper, I'm like, Minior is actually a cool Pokemon. Minior. I like Minior, by the way. Minior is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and it's definitely my favorite rock type, for sure. I don't think it's really an unpopular opinion, like people don't like Minior. I think the Pokemon Company isn't doing a good job at representing who Minior really is. But for real, it's not about, like, they show him as this little turd rock when you look at all the Pokemon, so he's often just like overlooked. But it's not about what he looks like on the out. It's the inside that counts. But literally, because he's like a Minior, and they come in 7 different colors, and they light up, and they're cute little meteorites that glow different colors, and they float in the sky, and they're really pretty. I feel like the Pokemon Company is not doing it any justice by showcasing it as this little meatball. It's just, they're not really showing everyone Minior's true colors. I joke. I make a joke. I quote the Borat in 2021. Like, I want Minior nightlights, like strings, where everyone lights up a different color. Pokemon, hire me. You know, it is an unpopular opinion, not because people don't like Minior, because Minior is just overlooked, because they're just not doing a good job. But when they hire me, I'll make it. The world will never forget about Minior. He'll never be the same again. Alright, all Pokemon games are good in their own way, and all Pokemon games have flaws, but none are bad. Agreed. Even my least favorite Pokemon games, like, I have at least 200 hours in it, so, like, I would never, if there's somebody that wants to play all the, like, Pokemon games, I would never be like, oh, you could skip this one, because this one sucks, ever. I think they're all I think every one is worth playing at least once, especially if you collect cards. I think it's more fun to see, like, you know, you're looking at these Pokemon and these trainers. It's worth it to see, like, who even is this trainer? Who is this waifu? Is she an Elite Four member? Is she your mother? Like, what is this Pokemon all about? Have like some backstory to go with the pictures you're seeing in the cards. I think that's cool. Next, X and Y are easily the worst mainline Pokemon games. I actually love Kalos so much. But if you were to say that X and Y are the worst Pokemon games, I feel like that's not an unpopular opinion. Like, I totally get where you're coming from, because I thought the games were very enjoyable and the music is so good. But it's lacking in content, so it's certainly not the best, you know. Like, there's just so many, like, unanswered questions and mysteries, or it seemed like they were trying to go somewhere with that, and then they just, like, gave up or ran out of time for whatever reason, and they were like, oh, time to play Sun and Moon now, and I was like, where's Pokemon Z? Don't do this to me, because if I don't ever find out who the Lumiose Ghost Girl was before I die, then I'm gonna become the Lumiose Ghost Girl and haunt You. But for real, I would love like a sequel or some future game that goes back to Kalos or does like something with bring back Pokemon Z. It would have been so funny if instead of doing the Diamond Pearl remakes that everyone was fiending over, they just did Pokemon Z. I would have loved that. Oh my god. I would have thought it was so funny because everyone would have gotten so mad. Can you imagine? But yeah, X and Y aren't my least favorite, but I feel you. They're lacking. And it's like eating a nice little bite-sized candy instead of a whole candy, king-size candy bar. It's no, this one I disagree with at such a high level. Pokemon hasn't made a good game since Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Oh, what? First of all, those games are like average as hell. My favorite Pokemon games are Black and White 2, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I don't know why everyone is like on their high Rapidash, always like talking smack on Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon are top tier in my opinion, and I don't know, even if you think the new games aren't your cup of tea, like you can't ignore the fact that they've improved so much. They've made so many good like quality of life changes, like getting rid of HMs. You don't have to go all the way to the Pokemon Center when you want to like switch your Pokemon. Like you could just access all the Pokemon you just caught right from the start menu. You could change your Pokemon's natures. For the first time, I don't care what anyone has to say, the loud infants on the internet being like, Sword and Shield is bad. Like, go to bed. Like, it's not. I think Sword and Shield are even good because they're just making so many improvements. Like, for the first time ever, I don't know why it took them this long, like, the gym battles and the Elite Four or whatever, you actually have like you walk out into this big stadium and you actually have like a crowd of people cheering you on. It's super intense. It actually feels like the way you imagine a Pokemon battle in your mind, like in the anime or something. I don't understand why it took them so long to do this, where you go to the Elite Four, which is like the biggest battle in the world. You're becoming the world champion, and it's just some old man waiting in like a dusty ass closet for you to show up with no one watching you and cheering you on. Like even like a little league baseball game for like 6-year-olds has like parents cheering you on from the sidelines. Like, and they finally made everything epic, and there's a difference between difficulty and tediousness. I feel like they've made so many quality of life changes and improvements, and the characters are more creative and all that, that I would find it honestly a bit of a grind and pretty much unbearable to play a lot of the older games with HMs and all that like annoying, terrible stuff going on. And Johto is a boring ass region, to be honest. Showing off expensive cards and sealed items is a big flex. Seeing people's sealed collections is so boring. It's like eating a lollipop with the wrapper on it. Like, I just want to know what's in there. Just want to know what's in there. And a lot of sealed stuff, like I understand the appeal of like sealed collection boxes with the jumbo card in the background, or sealed ETBs with like, you know, it's very satisfying to see them all stacked up like a pyramid time capsule of like all the different arts and all the different sets throughout time. Like I understand how it's appealing to look at, but I mean, it's basically saying like, look at all this stuff I have, this is going to be worth a lot of money. But once we get into like showing me sealed booster boxes, like what is it's like an ugly cardboard box with like a dilapidated plastic sack around it with like the flaking Pokeballs flaking off the side. Ew, I don't want to see that. My favorite pages are the ones that don't only post their expensive stuff or their sealed stuff. They post their cards in like nice aesthetic little pictures of even like the commons and the uncommons. Like I like to see there's art of cards that people just breeze right past because they're not like the main expensive chase card of the set. There's so many good ones, and I feel like that's the best part of collecting cards, isn't like breezing through them like Pokerub like a fiend, like throwing them all on the floor until they get to the Charizard like they're garbage. That is disgusting. That is BLAP. Just appreciating like the little simple cards for the art and taking nice pictures with like maybe a nice little background and stuff, kind of like my page. that's the kind of stuff that is more appealing for me to see, at least. And if you're putting a bunch of sealed stuff on your shelves because you think it looks aesthetically pleasing, like the ETBs and collection boxes and stuff, I'm not saying that everyone should be as good as me, but like if you were, I just put up all the empty boxes and like reseal them in a way that makes them look like they're sealed. But I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. Okay, Pikachu is overrated. I mean, Pikachu is Pokemon. He is the face of Pokemon. You can't have Pokemon without Pikachu. It's like going to Disney World and being like, get this stupid rat off your castle, talking about Mickey Mouse. I mean, I do really like Pichu and Raichu, and I wish that they would also get more attention instead of it like just being Pikachu. But I don't know how you could like Pokemon but then also not like Pikachu or think he's overrated. Like he just is Pokemon. Plus he's red, yellow, and black, and those are the most powerful colors of all time. Like Snoopy and Woodstock and his doghouse, and Mickey and Minnie and McDonald's. So anything with those colors is automatically God. Next, Eevee is just as popular as Charizard, but somehow Charizard is overrated, but Eevee isn't. This is true. I haven't really thought about this. Eevee is shoved down our throats quite often, and I'm kind of over it. I mean, I'm so excited for Eevee Heroes, because I'm not really ever excited about Eevee. I just really like the evolutions is the best part of Eevee. I'm tired of just plain Eevee cards, and I get why they were trying to cram it down our throats during the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee era, where they were really trying to push the Eevee as the more cutesy starter counterpart to Pikachu, I guess, to appeal to the more girly demographic or whatever. But they got their point across. We get it. Eevee is a starter too with Pikachu. Eevee is a starter too with Pikachu. Say it with me now. Eevee is a starter too with Pikachu. What? Yeah, we get the point. I feel like I'm over Eevee, even though I spent all my money on Eevee Heroes for the evolutions. And yeah, you're right. It seems like Eevee never really gets the hate. Everyone wants to hate on Charizard and be like, Charizard's overrated, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really ever hear anyone talking smack in the same way about Eevee. But whatever, Eevees ain't that cute. Let's start a movement where we tell the world Eevee's not that great, and then no one will buy Eevee Heroes and it'll be all for us. Just kidding. But yeah, alright, now we're getting to some issues here. Mayan at Mayan Pokemon believes that Patrat is the worst rodent, and Patrat's one of my favorites. He evolves into a crossing guard. How dare you! He protects you from traffic. Because it's cute. It's Unova. It's New York City. Grows up into a crossing guard prairie dog? I don't even know. Even though he has red eyes, look at this. Look at him on this card. He's winking. He's trying his best. They're interviewing you. He's a good boy. So I like to often remind her that she is incorrect about that statement. And I don't really know who the worst rodent would be. I feel like I love all the rodents. Who is the worst rodent? It's certainly not Patrat, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. Next, Dunsparce. Agreed. Any Zard after Shiny Charizard V is overhype. The only Charizards that I care about are Dark Charizard from Team Rocket and Illustrator Charizard, because this card has dope art. Any of the other Charizards are so basic, I'm Charizard, I'm in your face, breathing fire again. I get hype if I pull a Charizard, but I don't actively seek to own them, or I'm gonna buy it or something. It's just always a cool, nice thing that's there. But I purposely bought the Illustrator Charizard because I thought it was actually worth buying because the art is really cool. Yeah, the art is usually mad basic. I think everyone with a pulse, though, if they pull a Charizard, even if you hate Charizard and think it's overrated, I think any human with a pulse is going to have some reaction of excitement when they pull a Charizard. But other than that, it's like, I'm not gonna ever buy if I don't pull them, I wouldn't ever buy them, because who cares? Next, Real Breaking Nate says Psyduck is the best Pokemon, LMAO. Well, debatable. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion on their own favorite Pokemon. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there whose favorite Pokemon is Bruxish, and I can't tell them no. And it makes it more interesting, because, you know, would you rather have people liking weird, random Pokemon thinking that they're the best, or everyone saying Charizard is the best, you know? So, respect, I guess, but I disagree, because Psyduck used to piss me off like no other, because like back in the day when we had to wait all week for a new episode of Pokemon, and I would be all excited, and when it finally came on, I wanted to see some action. I wanted to see a real battle. And then Misty comes over here, and I'm like, please don't send out Psyduck, please don't send out Psyduck. And what does this bitch do? Sends out Psyduck. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes the action for this week. I guess I'm gonna have to wait a whole nother week to maybe see a battle. Like, because she'd send out Psyduck and he would just be like, and that's it for like the whole episode. I'm like, I hate y'all. At least in Dragon Ball Z, when they're dragging on to get to the fight, at least there's like spicy dialogue leading up to it, like Kakarot, you will never, like, at least there's something better than like I was just like, get this stupid yellow platypus little bit out my face. So I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, though, and you thought that was cool, then, you know, I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. You're wrong, but you're wrong. For real, but it's fine. I like Patrat. Who am I? Alright, next. We're never getting a Pokemon MMO because it would never be able to meet people's dreams. First of all, I had to look up what MMO meant. It's a massively multiplayer online game. I guess like because I never played like World of Warcraft or anything like that, or I guess League of Legends. I never played anything like that, but I don't think, because it would never be able to meet people's dreams. I don't think they care if it meets our dreams, like, because I feel like even if people are going to complain about it and say it sucks, like, we're still going to spend money on it and buy it and play it anyway. Like, I don't really think they care. And I actually think it would be cool, because I've never played games like that. Because like World of Warcraft like doesn't appeal to me aesthetically. But if they made a Pokemon MMO, I would think it was cool and I would want to play it because it's Pokemon, and then I might like it, and then I'll be like, hey, look, I like MMO games now. But I don't really think they care about it meeting our hopes, solving our hopes and dreams. Okay, next is Pokemon is masculine. Does this look masculine to you? This sparkly unicorn box? Yeah, I think we can all agree that they were going for a very cutesy, girly aesthetic here, whatever you want to call it. It's very cutesy. I love that they did stuff like this, because I don't know what else on the planet could make like the biggest like tool bag bro dude that's like, yo, I'm a man, like actually shamelessly run to the store and get this and like be all excited like, I got my unicorn box, yeah, with spark, like it literally has glitter on the box, like proudly rolled up there to like get a ton of unicorn boxes, like, all right, we're making a video, we got the Rapidash box, bruh, and not say like, that's gay, this gay is for girls. Like, the fact that guys that are totally not really into glitter and unicorns ran out to get this with like no issue, I think that shows that Pokemon is genderless, and that's why it's so powerful and awesome and the highest grossing media franchise in the world. Oh, and by the way, while we're here, like I was saying before, like, screw your sealed collection. I make my own sealed collection. This is actually opened. This whole thing was opened. I just taped it back together, kept the promos inside, and these are all empty pack wrappers. It looks good on the shelf. Tell me I did good. Tell me I did good. Tell me I did good. Thanks. Okay, next question. Charizard is not the Lizard King. Everyone knows that the actual Lizard King, or Lizard Queen rather, is Salazzle. I'm just imagining like the Lizard King instead of the Lion King, and instead of it being like Mufasa and Simba on Pride Rock, it's just Salazzle, like, because I'd watch that. Disney, hire me. But if that's not what you meant, and it's just another way of you saying like Charizard's overrated, I guess I kind of answered this in the last question, is that I admit that he's iconic, where he gives a reaction. He's definitely something. But you know, I don't like actively seek Charizard things, but when I get them, I am excited, because so I guess he is a king to a certain extent, because he gives a reaction, he has a presence. Charizard, it's never the best card, it's never my favorite, but he does have a certain je ne sais quoi that Pokemon like Psyduck can only dream of. Or does he even dream because he's having a headache? Who knows? Next, Diglett's nose is actually a mouth with one tooth. This was debunked, thank God, because that would be disgusting. In Pokemon Go, because you could see the side view of the Pokemon, and you could see his nose sticks out. Yeah, so this technically isn't an opinion, you're just incorrect. But for real, it's not. Thank God. Jynx's blackface recalled due to racism towards urban population. Apparently, I was gonna make a whole video on like banned things or banned cards in Pokemon and whether or not I agree with them or not, of like whether or not they should have been banned. But it's hard for me to make videos sometimes because I talk so much that I don't feel like putting out a 4-hour video and just be like, watch me talk to myself in my room, you know? So, but I feel like a lot of them, it's annoying because whether you agree with it or not, of like why it was recalled, I feel like they kind of like have to do it, because you can't put like disclaimer, this is actually based on this on every single card to avoid like offending someone. So like if someone doesn't get it or doesn't like it, I guess that's like the only thing. I mean, like they stopped making Kadabra cards for like 50 years because Uri Geller was and even though that's stupid, they just like didn't want to mess with it and deal with like, I guess, a potential lawsuit or something. So I just think that they're just like, all right, we better get rid of it. They already like almost killed everyone with seizures from Porygon's episode, even though it wasn't Porygon, it was Pikachu, but whatever. So, but apparently, like, I looked it up, I wrote it down too, I'm not even gonna act like I'm smart and I remember this, but it's supposedly based on Yumaba or Yuki Onna, which are like mountain spirits in like the snowy mountains, and that also makes sense because Jynx is ice type, probably because of that. But you know, you can't put a disclaimer being like, this isn't this. So I feel like a lot of stuff that was banned or had to be banned is just like ignorance, but who knows? It's a complicated topic of all these banned things. All I know is that Porygon should get a redemption episode. Next, Bidoof is cute. I totally agree that Bidoof is cute, but I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, or at least anymore, because I thought Bidoof has become kind of like a meme, and like we love him because he has Doofus in the name. He's so cute, and he has his little buck teeth, and he's like, ooh, like little doof boy. He's just trying his best. Okay, I think this is the last one. I think Greninja has a terrible design with his tongue as a scarf. I think that's a pretty hot take, because every time I see like the polls of everyone in the world voting on their favorite Pokemon, I think Greninja has consistently won the #1 spot of favorite, which I think is surprising because, you know, it wasn't like Charizard or Mewtwo or something. But I think he's not my favorite. Like, Greninja is not like my cup of tea by any means, but I do acknowledge that the design is super cool and super creative. I like the fact that the tongue is a scarf. I think it's creative. It makes you go, huh, because you don't realize it at first, and then it's cool because it's like kind of gross that it's like a giant tongue, but it's also like kind of sleek. I like that he's a ninja, and I think he's a cool character. Yeah, I think that's all of them, hopefully. So hopefully you really enjoyed me giving my opinion on your opinion. And yeah, surprisingly, I agreed with like almost all of them, except for maybe like one or two. So it's been real, guys. Well, like this video if you like this video, and follow me on all the social medias, and maybe you can play next time I ask questions and make a video on them. Won't that be fun? Thanks for watching. Bye.